Hello, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Sharon Leid. It's crazy now because you don't know how it's going to turn out. My kids empowered me to get out.
What's going on with this remote learning and in the midst of COVID?
Working for different elected officials, learning and understanding how to put the community first.
Hi, welcome to the show. Welcome to Keeping It Real with Sharon. How you doing there, Miss Vanessa? How you doing?
Ooh, I'm great. July is here already. Oh my goodness.
It's hot, I know.
Yes.
Well, before we start the show tonight, I just want to let my fans know I was reelected as president of my Bedford-Stuyvesant Lions Club. This is my second term, and I'm the second woman in 54 years of the club. So I'm excited about that. We have a lot of work to do. We're going to work hard. Our mission is to help people in the community and provide resources for them. So I'm excited about that. But so I'm going to be calling y'all for help now. Okay. So just be on the watch out. You're going to get a call from me to help out with the Lions. Oh, and I'm so excited about our guest tonight because she is so dynamic because I really need to get disciplined, I tell you.
Well, our special guest tonight is Miss Sharon Leid. She's a seasoned publicity strategist with over 20 years of expertise in the public, media, community relations industry, holding prestigious positions such as executive director for the Community Relations Bureau in the Kings County DA's office and executive director of external community, media, and government relations for the One Brooklyn Health System. Her expertise is unmatched. But in 2015, Sharon funded NetStroke PR LLC with a passionate dedication to assisting small businesses in uncovering their newsworthiness and unique storytelling. She believes in creating tailored PR campaigns for each client, ensuring that their brand and needs are met. Let's welcome our guest to the show, Miss Sharon Leid.
Well, hello there, Miss Leid.
Hello there, Lottie.
Welcome.
Dr. Vanessa, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Well, I am so glad you're on tonight to talk because I tell you, I am one. I know it's important for us to be disciplined in all phases of our life, but I got two that I got to get straight, and maybe you can help me get them straight. I'm all right in the other fields, but I ain't in two of them or whatever.
I'm gonna try.
But tonight,
yes.
we know there's a lot of people that are not disciplined, and it keeps them from getting to where they need to get to because they're not disciplined. So I want to start off first by why do you think it's so hard for people to be disciplined?
So, let me just go back in terms of, why I decided to really put discipline into my daily work and also working with my clients. When you think about it, if you don't have a particular goal to reach, then the whole idea, the whole dynamic of you reaching to that goal is putting a plan together. So when you put a plan together, how do you execute it? You got to execute it. Putting these things in place means that you have to have a routine. You have to be disciplined. And so having a disciplinary mindset, doing things on a consistent basis, it leads you to being successful. I realized a long time ago that, when you just start putting things in place and you don't have a routine or you don't have a goal, then you're really you're spinning around like a hamster in a wheel. So when I decided to implement discipline into my daily routine and with my clients, I found that us getting to our successful and getting to our goals, being successful, has been such an amazing outcome. And anyone who doesn't have a discipline, they're really looking towards themselves for failing. Putting things in place like that really, really needs to be, steadfast and stay consistent.
So the main thing you are saying is the first thing you do is set up your goal.
Yeah.
What is your goal and how are you going to get to that
exactly goal? How are you going to execute that? What are you going to put in place? How do you get to it?
Absolutely.
Right. So that's just like if we want to be financially stable and want to be able to get our hair done and nails done and eat in the fancy places and get the things that we want. What are we going to do to make that happen? And
But I think even just to the example you gave, Lottie, with financially, you have a goal, but then again, you have to identify what your weaknesses are, right? You have to come to, sometimes people do things and they don't accept, they're not in acceptance in what their spending habits are and things like that. So in order to create a goal, you got to understand where you lack, where your discipline lacks. And one thing that you mentioned, Sharon, when people's creating businesses and they so geared up and thinking about profiting and making money, that they don't plan. So I always say, if you fail to plan, then plan to fail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and it's so right, because you start up a business or anything, I'm not just saying just with business. It's
Right,
just
right.
when you putting things in place, you have to understand where are you going. And Dr. Vanessa, you make a really good point in terms of weaknesses. Like, all of us have a weakness. All of
Right.
us have weaknesses, but we also have strengths. So, in order for us to really succeed, we got to look at what our strengths are, identify our weaknesses, but our strengths should supersede the weakness. And that should and that's where the discipline comes in,
Yes.
because it's like, okay, how is it that I can get over this weakness? Do I need to bring someone in to help me out? Do I need, what is it that I need? And it's all about that planning, that planning stage. If you don't have a to-do list, if you don't have a plan, you're not going to work. It's not going to work.
So could you just, just for us, maybe some of us don't know really, we know what our weaknesses are, but like, what would you just give an example of a weakness that you might have, and then the strength that you need to use to go forward in that goal?
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm going to just use for me my weakness, and listen, I'm a foodie. I love to eat. My husband and I will look through and look for restaurants, and we'll go restaurant, hopping or whatever. I love to eat. But I also know that I want to go places where I got those nice little cute outfits on, where my body looks snatched. And, I can't eat all of those foods that I want. Carvel, favorite, love it. Do not tell me I cannot pass by a Carvel and I can't get me a Carvel ice cream with rainbow sprinkles. Like, that is my weakness. I love to eat. However, I do know that in terms of my goal, for me, one, to stay in my six to eight size, I know that I have to do certain things, which is going to, staying with my nutritionist, working out. If I don't get to the gym, I now have to go to, do my steps, get my steps in 6,000 to 10,000 steps a day. Like that, my weakness literally has to push me to become successful in order for me to not gain that weight. But I tell you,
That's interesting you said that you use food as a tool, because people think that you can't have the things that you love, but in moderation, you still meet your goal. You just
yeah.
don't overeat and
Well, what about the poor people that just is just so weak? Like I like to eat, and I know I need to lose the weight and everything, and I want to lose the weight. I imagine myself, at a 14 or 16 or something like that. But that weakness overtakes my strength to know that I'm not supposed to be eating certain things, that I'm still eating it. So
you
I'm
know
just like past the point.
and I get you, Lottie. But here's the thing, and if those of you who listen to motivational speakers and so forth like that, there's this one quote from E.T., Eric Thomas, and I use this quote all the time, not only for myself but also for my clients. And it's like, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. So if you want to lose that weight as bad as you want to breathe, you will lose that weight. Because if anybody holds their breath, they know I can't hold my breath that long. Don't put me underwater. Don't try to. I am not a swimming baby. I love the water, but I do not know how to swim. So if you really want to, how bad do you want it? That's the question.
It's about the
How
discipline.
bad? It's about the discipline. When I deal with my clients in terms of PR, and and really getting to that point of that they want to kill it in that interview, I'm like, how bad do you want it? Like, how much time are we going to put into this, into our training, into our coaching, so you can really understand your messaging and practicing. not to script it, but practice so it comes off natural.
Right.
So it's all about really putting yourself in a position of how bad do you want it, and then that discipline will kick in once you put your plan out. Once you put your plan out and you understand what your downfalls are and your strengths are, you'll be able to film through that and be able to become and see the steps, see the graduating steps.
Right. So do you use the SWOT analysis with your clients?
I didn't hear what you said.
Do you use a SWOT analysis with your clients?
Sometimes I do. Clients sometimes, it's like if you don't really, some are very sensitive because you got to understand, I'm with media. So people don't like to be in the camera. People are, I've had clients where they were like, I cannot be at the camera. I can't even, it's just a real strong phobia. So I have to use different techniques in order for them to really, get to where their goals are. So it's different techniques that I use. So, me going right into the SWOT, child, I might lose them.
But you know what, you mentioned something. I know you focus on brand exposure. But sometimes people misconstrue that with marketing. Can you explain to the audience, like, what's the difference between a marketing strategy and a PR strategist?
A publicity strategist. So that's a really good question. And the reason why I say that is because marketing drives sales. Marketing is all about you talking about that price point, pushing, doing ads, all of that. There's no storytelling in marketing.
Right.
A publicity strategist is really getting down for people to really understand who you are. Why did you decide to do this business? What drove you to this? How is it that, what is your drive in terms of helping people in this industry? How do you look to change this industry if there is some flaws in it? So it's more of a storytelling with publicity strategy than it is with marketing. Again, marketing helps you to get that goal, to get that sale. Now, PR does also, but PR is more of a massage type of marketing strategy. It's more people can engage with you. They would learn more about you. People trust you and they'll do business with you quicker than they would if they just saw the ad. So we do it, simultaneously. I'll do an interview with a client and then we have an ad. So when they see this ad, they just heard either the interview or read the interview. And it was like, you know what? I can relate with that person. So PR really brings relatability to the situation.
Oh, okay then. Yeah. But even with dealing with clients, there must be some time that they are weak in what they're doing and their decision and things like that. And it's going to be hard probably sometimes to even deal with them. But we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and talk more about disciplining your clients. We'll be right back.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
They say there are no excuses.
They say to just push hard.
They say to just go faster.
But when we're on the field, they don't know what's going on inside us.
How hard is too hard?
When do we get support?
When do we raise our hand and ask for help? We need each other.
Love. You're mine.
Welcome back. We're talking with our guest speaker, Ms. Sharon Leid. Now, Sharon, I wanted to ask you, I just really talk about myself most of the time because, other people, they know what their weaknesses are. But I know we need to motivate ourselves. I know we really need to work on ourselves, to make us get more disciplined. I mean, what is some other things that we can do and work on to really make us become disciplined in what we are doing? Because discipline is hard.
It is hard. It really is hard. I remember listening to a motivational speaker. I just started listening to her, and She indicated that how can you motivate yourself when you're in such a rut? Like, how do you pull yourself out of it when you're, the bills is piling up, you're probably getting evicted, you don't have no money coming in, family is on your case, it's just so much. How do you motivate yourself? And, and I thought about it. I said to myself, because I've had some lows,
Absolutely.
We got married at age 21. So, at age 21, we ain't got no money. I ain't had no business going on, thank God, my parents and, and his family. But, how do you motivate yourself when you have so much stuff going on against you? And at that point, I put faith first.
Yes.
I put faith first. I am such a spiritual person that I have to say to myself, God is doing these things for a reason to make me stronger.
Right.
And once I get to that point and I understand it, I then start building myself up. Like, he's given me the power.
Right.
And once I start getting that, I start coming up with ideas. And then I start listening to other motivational speakers and, and hearing their stories and saying to myself, I am not alone. And we always have to think about it. We're not alone. So many people has fallen and gotten back up that you can't say to yourself, I'm just going to stay here. Prime example, I know a young person. I mean, you would think all the things that went through with this young person, that he would have just given up. And he said he's not giving up. He lost a really good job in a hospital system. And he was like, I want to get back in there. And it took him a year and a half. When people told him, you might as well stop, just stop. Right. And he kept going and kept going. And now he just landed a job in a hospital system. And I was like, you want to know something? You beat all odds because you had the faith. You stuck with it. You kept it going. You didn't let it get you down. Our problem is that when we get knocked down, we feel that we can't get back up.
Absolutely.
But you know what you said, Sharon, on the spiritual side. See, you have had to have experienced it for you really to know to believe it. Sometimes when things happen to you, they're happening for that reason. Just like you say, he lost his job because a better job was coming. A better job was coming. Because I truly believe sometimes when things happen, God allows it to happen because he wants you to do better. And you're not going to do better unless he brings something down on you to make you wake up, smell the coffee, and know that he got something better for you to do. Because when that door closes, another door opens.
And that's true. And sometimes what keeps people down is the fear.
Yeah.
So if you have fear, you don't have faith. I came out of retirement to help people. Not that I necessarily had to, but it gives me a joy to see a joy in somebody else's face, and the energy and the time I spent to be in the position I'm in now. I never thought I'll be at certain tables. Never in my life I thought I'd be sitting at tables and going places with people I've never even thought I would ever even meet. So it's like, it's not. I didn't come out of retirement to make money. What case is that about the money to me? Just like it's not about the money receiving from the client. It's the quality of the service that you provide to them.
Yeah,
and that's what matters to me. And it all came from just supporting one client of mine. And she sent me a text, "Hey V, I'm a consultant. Can you support me?" And that took me above and beyond where you would not even imagine where I'm at today. And I'm already retired. I've been retired for 5 years.
And not only that, you have to be willing to want to do something.
Do the work. Yeah.
Right.
That's the main thing. Because see, a lot of time people want you to do it for them. They don't want to do it for themselves.
Right. And
you said before, they don't want to put the work in there.
It's the work. It's the confidence, it's the mindset, it's all of that plays a part for you to get out of that rut, because we all run into it. We all run into it. And when you sit down and you really think about it, you got to say to yourself, I'm not alone.
Absolutely.
I'm not alone. And once you understand that and you get beyond that and you say to yourself, okay, what is it that I need to do? It may be that, it is probably some drastic changes that you have to do with your lifestyle in order for you to get to where you need to get to. And we gotta shift.
Right. And people need to know. And people need to know, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, you can't run a business by yourself. You can't run anything really by yourself. You know, you need a team. And sometimes people don't want to pay for the services. The people may not have the money to do, but sometimes you can barter, right? Sometimes what you have to offer, I can offer in exchange, and we can help each other. And that's how people grow, and that's how business grow. I mean,
and that's build up partnerships and relationships and trust.
Right.
And you're right. If you partner or you work with other people, other businesses that is aligned with what you're doing, your growth is so much bigger. Both of you or the multitudes of you is so much bigger. You can't get there. You could get there, but you won't get there fast.
But see, that's the problem. That's the problem, Sharon. Sometimes people don't want to join together to build the empire. They so afraid that you might do better than them or something.
They'll take
what
away
is it
from
that
you.
we can't work together to build the empire together?
And they don't understand working in silos. You get nothing done.
You get nothing
collectively. You can create. You can be the greatest. I think.
Yeah. People come to me and they say, "Why do you always partner with other publicists?" And I'm like, because each one of us are different.
Exactly.
Nobody can do the type of work that I do outside. In terms of with publicity, there's no same publicist.
Right.
So you don't know my same contacts. I don't know their contacts, the style of how I work. I specialize in community engagement because I've done it for 18 years working for the DA.
Right.
So I always have that special sauce, I should say, which everybody else. And when we come together, we're putting that sauce together. We got that magic sauce now that a client will feel like, oh my God, I just hit the jackpot. So when you collaborate with people, don't look at it as competition.
Right.
Look at it as collaboration.
It's a learning experience.
And when you learn in that space, you don't want to be the smartest one in that room. You want to be able to go into that room and learn and get something out from that room.
That's the main thing, is being willing to learn from another person. Because I mean, when I see people and they doing good and talking and carrying on, I'll be like, how did they get that? Well, as soon as this thing is over, I'm going up to them and I'm gonna start talking to them. You know what I'm saying? And finding out information. I'm not sitting there being jealous. I'm going up there to find out, how did you do this?
Exactly.
I scope the room. Let me go to, especially if I hear the person talking, I'm like, okay, I got tunnel vision. Right. I'm going straight to you. Listen, how are you doing? How is it that we can just build a relationship? I'm not trying to take anything from you. I actually want to learn from you. I want us to work together and how we can, my skills and your skills together can make something much more better.
Absolutely. Well, let me tell you, when we was at that event, 500 men making a difference, and when you went up there and spoke, I was like, oh my God, she's awesome. I have to get to her when this thing is over with. I walked right up to you when the thing was over with. Excuse me, I need to talk to you.
I appreciate
it. It's a great event.
But that's what you do. Like I do that all the time. I go and I go to conferences a lot. It's just as an attendee. I go to conferences because I want to hear, especially if I look at the lineup, I want to hear, how is this going, how is this person going to affect me in a positive way?
Right.
And can I get to that person?
Right.
If I can get to that person, oh child.
It's on.
It's on and popping.
I make sure I get through that aisle, Sharon. No, I went right on down there. Excuse me. You get to where you're going.
I'll be pushing people out the way. Excuse me. I'll be right back. I just gotta get to this person. I'll be right. And you can tell because I got tunnel vision. I'm looking right at the person. So excuse me, it's bad.
But then some people say to me, every time we go somewhere, you got to be a networking and get numbers and all that. I said, well, because you don't want to learn nothing to do anything. That's your problem. That's not my problem.
But Lottie, I know that Sharon has a monthly event.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the ladies Thursday.
The Ladies of Third Thursday. So Ladies of Third Thursday came about because when I got laid off in 2015, my whole network was literally law enforcement. And the business that I was going into, it wasn't really conducive for law enforcement. So I needed to meet other people. I needed to meet business people. So I created an organization called Ladies of Third Thursday. I brought some of my good girlfriends on board with me that I knew would be that they would work with me because they understood the mission of what I wanted to do, which was to connect with other women. And Ladies of Third Thursday actually opened up to be more than just a networking organization. It opened up to be a business resource for women who are looking to grow in their business or in their profession, or just on a personal level. So the people that I have came across, that I've done work with, that were my clients, I'm able to bring them into the circle because there are a lot of women that needs coaching. There's a lot of women that needs to know self-care, massages, facials, financial assistance, and just finding resources to just build their business. Because what I realized when we were networking, they didn't have all the tools for them to be a successful business person and to partner. So this organization actually helped me build me, as well as it built other people to how is it we can do better. So
yeah. That's excellent. We need something like that, especially with women together. See, if we could stop being so jealous of each other and work together, we would be a powerhouse. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. We could definitely do a lot. So you can literally connect with me on I prefer LinkedIn, which is my full name, Sharon Leid. And you can connect with me. We can learn more about Ladies of Third Thursday. You can learn more about Netstruck PR. I always do free events. I always do free talks and things like that, but really just empower. I am an empowerment person.
Yes.
I don't talk down to anyone. You can come to me with the most smallest thing, and that's it.
Listen, we're going to come to that girl's Thursday. We coming to that girl's Thursday.
We're on
Thursday. Look, thank you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. It was
so much for coming on and, at least kind of, getting us all geared up to do what we need to do. We want to thank you all for joining us tonight. And look, you can always catch us every Tuesday, 8, every Saturday at 5:30 on Brick Arts Media and 2:30 on Manhattan Neighborhood Network. So as always, we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Today's show is sponsored by Abu's Bakery. If you have a sweet tooth, stop by Abu's Bakery for some delicious cakes and pies.
Would you like beautiful pictures for your home or your office? Then stop by Faith Art Gallery. They have a large selection of pictures from around the world.
It's Shannon.